All right, hey guys, this is AJ Unlimited here to bring you another video. So, we are doing another list thingy, a 10 top 10. No, well, not top 10 because it's never top 10, it's just 10. 10 tips for social gathering. So, I did my most recent videos include 10 tips for men, 10 tips for women, and 10 tips for the workplace, and just all based on like personal experience and such, more so in the like recent. Here's 10 tips for social gathering, and actually there's kind of more or less a story behind why I decided to do this particular topic. It's because I was actually at a social gathering not that long ago, like a week ago. It was this past Sunday, and it was at my aunt's house. And let's just say that there were a lot of people there, relatives and extended family that I haven't seen in a while, and most of them are old, old men and women, and it's a very, very super religious family and such. So I mean, you mix old people with religion and haven't seen you in a while type of vibes together, and you get some pretty interesting stuff. So here's my list. Number one, don't be the funny guy. Okay, so we all know the funny guy, the one guy that has to crack jokes and just be the center of attention because he thinks he's too good for the whole event. He's too good for everybody. They're too cool, and he's always cracking jokes and always trying to find his moment, just try to find every little possible chance or window he can possibly get to just throw in a joke there and get some chuckles. And usually they're sympathy laughs, I'm going to tell you right now. But the reason why you don't want to be the funny guy all the time is, first of all, because obviously no one's going to take you seriously, and everybody knows you're not taking yourself seriously, and you kind of look like a douche, and you're just kind of super obnoxious. And usually the subtext behind or underneath being funny, cracking jokes, is making fun of a situation or a person. Now, there was one funny guy at this little gathering, and he was kind of like cracking jokes, making fun of another guy, and like this other guy's, a little bit bigger, overweight, and he just kind of joked, saying, "Oh, like, why don't eat one of those cookies? Like, I can just see you've been lusting over them for so long." And this guy got offended over the word lusting because it's, really, we're in a religious household. There's like Jesus pictures everywhere. So that was whatever. But he was obviously trying to be funny. I don't know if there's some sort of history going on with these two gentlemen, but doesn't matter. And then that's not the only time I've seen it. I'm just saying that's one example. Just be mature, be an adult, be polite, and have manners, and just yeah, try to be a normal, likable human being. Number two, don't try to like assign seats. I've seen this, whether or you're the host or not. You just stay in your lane. There was a couple of, again, older ladies there that were kind of like, oh, why don't you sit down? Like if somebody's standing up, have a seat, take a seat, and you sit here, and what, I could sit here, they could sit there, whatever, sit next to this person. It's like, just shut up. Like if I want to stand, I'll stand. If I want to sit, I'll find a place to sit. But don't like pressure me into sitting down. Like, what if I don't want to sit down? What if I don't like this person? What if that person smells? I just don't want to sit. Leave me alone. That merges directly into number three, and which is don't be the person that's constantly urging people to like grab a plate. We were sitting there and everything was ready to go, and we prayed grace and all that. And personally, me, I like to have a few, like, 2 or 3 beers to work on get a buzz going, work up an appetite, and then once the crowd dies down and everybody has their plate, then I go get mine, because then I'm not touching elbows with people, and I could take my time and really, just look at what I'm grabbing and whatever, do my thing. But I was sitting there, and like literally one of my, I don't know, grandma's sisters just kept on saying, like, go eat, go eat something, grab a plate, grab a plate. And I'm just like sitting here like, leave me alone, woman. I mean, all due respect, God bless her, but come on. Like, I'm 28 years old. You don't have to treat me like a kid. Like, I even kind of told her, like, I'm just waiting for the crowd to die down, whatever. Like, but, it was like one or two, maybe even three different people kind of came up to me. They're like, oh, grab a plate, grab a plate. It's like, just leave me alone. I don't need this. Just shush. Number 3, don't be the over generous person. You know, that one person that's always offering a little extra, or do you want some water? Do you want something to drink? You know, my aunt is like this, and she's like the host. So okay, yeah, I'll give her a pass because it's like kind of her job in a sense. Every 5 minutes, she was literally turning to a different person, saying, "Oh, do you want a water? Do you want a soda? Do you want would you like something to drink? Anything? You know, Diet Coke. I have 7 Up." And usually the answer was no, no thanks, I'm good, no thanks, no, no thanks. It's like, and then later on it was dessert time, and so she was like, "Hey, I'm making coffee. Does anybody want coffee? Coffee, 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 coffee." Literally, like she was going like person to person, like, "Alex, do you want coffee? No, I'm good. Tom, do you want coffee? No, I'm good. Frank, do you want coffee? No, I'm good." It's like just make the coffee, and if people want it, they'll flock to it, right? Like you don't need to ask every single person. Number 5, and this is one that I personally experienced, and it hurt really bad. And it's never comment on someone's weight gain. Now, like I said, some of these relatives I haven't seen in many years, and so I might have been skinnier back then. I probably was, and so there was probably at least 2 different, women that came up to me and commented on my weight gain. And it was just like, oh man, what a buzzkill. It's like now I just hate myself. I hate this day. I hate this event. I hate everybody here. It's just like, oh man, that is such a terrible thing. And it was like early in the party too. So the rest of the day I was just miserable. And I mean, luckily I'm pretty good at taking a hit, and I was able to kind of shake it off and whatever. The point is, keep your mouth shut, because if you say that to somebody, to the wrong person, that can cause some serious negative like emotions, and you can ruin their entire day. Don't ever comment on someone's weight gain. You can comment on their weight loss, all to live long, but not the weight gain. That's like, oh man, you might as well just punch me in the gut as hard as you can. That's how that feels. Please don't do it. Number 6, and this is kind of sort of more or less tied into number 5. Don't ever judge how much someone eats or drinks. It's like, come on. It's a social gathering. People are there to literally eat and drink and have a good time, be merry, what have you. Personally, for me, especially like this is a Sunday, well, weekend usually. Usually it's a Sunday. During the week I'm dieting like crazy. This is like one of maybe like 1 to 2 days of the week that I allow myself to really go all out. So please shut up. Don't ever like be like, oh man, you're having another hot dog, or you're having another cupcake, or you're having another beer, or whatever. Obviously you don't want to be that like super, like the one that won't stop stuffing his face, or you're getting super drunk. You don't want to be that guy either. Obviously moderation. You got to meet somewhere in the middle there, but like don't ever comment on someone's weight, how much they're eating, how much they're drinking. Just shut your mouth. Number 7, I listed don't be the loud guy. And I know a few people that are like this. Another uncle of mine that's always like, he has to like literally scream when he's talking because he wants to be heard. He needs to be heard. And he also is very arrogant and lots of pride, and he knows things, and he's very successful, has a lot of money. So he thinks he could just get away with it, and nobody ever really says anything because it's like, you only see these people once every 6 months, so just let them have it. But at the same time, like, have a little bit of common decency or whatever, like common courtesy, I guess. You don't want to be that guy that's like screaming when he's talking, and just because it's like you can, because you have that energy in you and you think it's okay because you've always done it and nobody's ever said anything, blah 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 blah, and maybe you don't care what people think. That's great, good for you. I hope you're happy, really, I do. But tone it down a little bit. Number 8, I listed don't be the guy that never stops talking. And this is kind of ties into like the guy that's loud, or the guy that has to be funny, whatever. The guy that just has to keep running his mouth. Of course, it doesn't have to be just a guy. It can be female too. Just saying, generally speaking. Usually it is a dude. But sometimes it is a female. And they never shut up, and they just, they like to hear themselves talk, right? They have to tell story after story after story. Or they have to keep like just asking questions, trying to be social, trying to make conversation with everybody and anybody in the room. And it's really annoying, especially when you're eating, and now you have to focus on what you're eating, and then you have to pay attention to what this person's saying, and it's just like, there's a couple people that I'm like, that do this on a regular basis. And it is just like they never stop making noise, and it drives me nuts. So, I think my rule of thumb when it comes to this type of stuff is if you're talking more than the person you're talking to, you're probably talking too much. So, yeah. Number 9, I listed avoid talking about religion or politics. And then in parentheses, I put or money. And the reason why I put that is because, because, I mean, it's pretty inevitable when you're at these social gatherings and people start talking about jobs or what they're studying in school, or just like, oh, you still at whatever job like you've been working at for so many years, like how do you like it, you thinking about leaving, whatever, like that's fine, like jobs and money and stuff, that's all kind of like standard topic of discussion. But when it comes to religion and politics, those two topics are so very sensitive. And if one person disagrees, he's going to disagree like a lot, and he's going to get very emotional. So when it comes to that stuff, try to avoid it, because all it really does is cause discomfort and despair and anger and tension and like arguments and stuff, and it's just ugly, especially in today's day and age. Nobody wants to hear it. It's all bad news wherever you look. I mean, religion is kind of more or less subjective, but politics is like it is what it is. It's right there in front of you. The facts, the evidence is there, and it's let's just face it. Politics in today's world, especially in the United States, is shitty. There's nothing good to talk about. So avoid it. And number 10, I listed, please get off your phone. Especially like those those stupid earbud things, AirPods or whatever. Like if you're the person that's always on your phone or always listening to like music, or you're like just distracted, or you're not really paying attention to what's going on. I mean, I get it, especially if you're a younger person, like a teenager. It's very tempting when you're in a room with a bunch of old people and have nothing in common with them, and you just all you want to do is go home. Like, I understand and I do it myself, but I caught myself, and I was on my phone. I was going on Facebook, and it's like, I don't need to be on Facebook right now. That's just gonna rot my brain. So I put my phone down and I just sat there. I put my hands together like this, and I just, on my lap, not like in front of me. But even if someone's not talking directly to you, it still comes across as like very rude, and like you just seem like closed off, and like nobody wants to approach you because they don't want to like disturb your little bubble. But it's like, come on, like for one day, not even a day, for 4 or 5 hours, you can live without your phone. Just like be part of the gathering. So that's my list. I might have left a few out. I don't know. If you guys want to add a few things, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to read what you guys have to say. And that's it. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and comment, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, as always, I'll see you next time. God bless.